Hello, soul searchers, and welcome back to my channel, Falolu's Fortune, where we use tarot to gain better insight into ourselves and the world around us. So today I am basically doing a Loteria reading, and I was recently guided to get into more Mexican forms of divination. I do live in Central Texas, so there's almost like a need for me to tap into the culture for real. And so yeah, I was just guided to learn some different Mexican divination practices and tools, and apparently Loteria is a very common one. This is technically a Mexican bingo game. It's basically bingo, just with different images. Instead of numbers, it uses images. And I will say, I don't know how Mexicans technically use this for divination. I think specifically, at least according to Google, predominantly it's just the cards that are used, like the deck itself. But I also have kind of been liking using the tablas with charms and stuff to get extra information. So, and again, on YouTube, I actually could not find a lot of examples of Loteria readings. So if you know other diviners, psychics, intuitives who use Loteria to do divination, then feel free to link them down below or give me their @name, because I don't I don't know, I wasn't able to find anybody just from a search. Mine is one lady, and she was doing a reading, I want to say, for Mexican Independence Day, Cinco de Mayo. But yeah. And she wasn't even Mexican either. She was, I think she was married to a Mexican man or had a Mexican partner or whatever, but she herself was not Mexican. Similar to me. So, I don't know. I kind of want to see it from the natives, the originators. How do you actually use this practice? And I didn't see anything about it being closed practice, so I feel like I might just be looking in the wrong spot. So again, if y'all have any recommendations, shout out your favorite YouTuber, your favorite psychic below. And I'll gladly check them out. Without further ado, I'm just going to do this reading the way I've kind of been doing it. I've kind of just been doing my own thing with Loteria. And basically, we're going to get one card from the deck to kind of give us the general energy, the general meaning, general message or whatever. And then after, getting the image and the message from the deck, I will get charms to get more detailed messages, and that part will be kind of like a pick a charm or pick a story. So yeah, let's just go ahead and see. Spiritual team, that is for the highest good of the collective here, as well as my own highest good. I just ask that you speak to us through the Loteria cards. What message, what energy do we need to review or talk about today? What do we need to be aware of today? That's 2. Okay. I'm being guided to shuffle like this, which I don't normally do. This is a fresh deck though, so it has not been mixed at all. It hasn't been shuffled at all. I ended up buying 3 of these, I'm not gonna lie, because they have a different number of tablas, these boards here, and they were really cheap on Amazon. So I just kind of went balls to the wall. Y'all know how I am. Okay. I need one. Oh, okay. Are you kidding me? Racist. No, I'm joking. So this is El Negrito, and it came out reversed. He that eats the sugar. This is in Spanish. El que se comió el azúcar. I want to say, I'm going to translate it really quick, but I'm pretty sure that is he that eats the sugar. Wait, why would that be El Negrito? Hold on. Yeah, he who ate the sugar. This phrase, in folk context, this phrase means embracing the sweet, easygoing things in life and choosing to see the brighter side of things, even when times are tough. It did come out reversed, though. Let me not forget that. I do feel like that's important, because it talks about being easygoing or like still being able to see the sweetness of life despite you know, going through some of life's battles. So with this being reversed, 737 on the camera. With this being reversed, there is a sense of someone maybe being a bit more pessimistic right now. Like, you can't see the sweetness of life. Maybe you've gotten tired of trying to force a sweet energy. And now the bottom of the deck is catching my attention. It says, el que le cantó a San Pedro no le volverá a cantar. He who sang to San Pedro, or like, I guess went singing to San Pedro, he didn't return singing. And now, and this is El Gallo, this is like the rooster. And now I'm being reminded of a movie. Their eyes were watching God. And in this movie, it's like a very small town. Like, this is back in the early 1900s maybe is when it's set. And, you know, there were like a little small towns kind of just cropping up and getting incorporated and things like that. So this is a very, very small town, like one of those one street towns. And in this movie, it's basically like when people leave, specifically women, like when they leave chasing a man or whatever, they come back brokenhearted. And I don't know why that's the vibe that's coming up with this. But again, kind of going to the pessimistic story. So this is like if you move to a different place for a partner and then things don't work out with that partner, but you're still in that new city or that new environment or whatever. So there's something about ties. And soul ties just came through, but not even, I really wasn't thinking that. That just kind of what came through. So you may believe in soul ties or something like that. Definitely do some cleansing if that's a belief that you have a soul tie and you need to like get rid of it. 1010 on the camera. I'm also getting cord cutting or cord pulling. So if you feel like you need to do any of that, absolutely. Like whatever you feel like you need for your spiritual hygiene, go for it. What I'm really getting as far as ties and cords, it's like, because I'm coming back to El Negrito and how it's coming across kind of like pessimistic because it's reversed. So there's almost this sense of maybe viewing something pessimistically because of who's tied to it. So again, going back to that example, if you move to a new city with a partner and then that partner doesn't work out and you're still stuck there, it's like you might not even be able to see your environment objectively. You might not be able to see the other people there, the community, the good things that are there because you had tied every hope and dream to this city, to a partner as well, to the partner that you moved with. And so now that that person isn't there, you could be looking at it with a more negative lens. That's just an example, but that is kind of the energy that I'm getting, is we're not seeing something clearly because there's just like this negative energetic tie, or at least you're reading it as a negative energetic tie. And even as I say that, there's something trying to come through about how it was always meant to be that way. Like, it feels like your spiritual team knew that you weren't going to go to this place on your own. Maybe it was a place you didn't have on your radar. Maybe you've historically struggled with codependency. Maybe, right? Like it's just somehow, some way they knew that you wouldn't do it on your own, but you needed to be in that place. And so after your partner kind of got you there, and this is the example that I'm going with, you're going to have to figure out how to apply this to yourself in your own situation, but it's a very clear example. So after your partner got you there, they kind of fulfilled their duty to you on a soul level. I know maybe consciously they had promised something else, but at least on a soul level with your spiritual teams, that's kind of what they were supposed to do, was get you there, and they did that. And your job now is to kind of detach your expectations of this place from that partner so that you can see the place more clearly. This, I'm also getting, this might not be a physical place. I think the card at the bottom kind of got me thinking about that, because San Pedro, but it might not be a physical place. This might be a more spiritual place, or a place in your mind. So this could be like getting with a partner who raises your vibration in some sort of way, or makes you see the world more optimistically, and then when they leave again, you're kind of almost thrown into this void where you have to choose if you still believe the way that they believe, if you still prefer the optimism, or if you kind of would rather just wallow in the pessimism. I'm seeing 1331 on the camera. And I just got "It All Comes Back to You." And it came through like a song, but I don't know this song, if that is a song at all. But those are basically the words that I heard. It all comes back to you, but they were being sung out. There's definitely something here about interesting too, because I'm being guided to El Negrito again, and how he's tapping into the sweetness of life through sugar. And that brings me to Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So some of you guys may want to like have a little sweet treat every now and then. Maybe that will actually help you. But what I'm getting more than that, I'm seeing 1441 on the camera now. What I'm getting more than that is that there's something trying to push you to grow on a soul level, and the growth that you're being asked to do is to not attach your happiness or your joy to any particular person or any particular thing. Codependency came up earlier, and it's coming back up now. Some of you guys definitely may feel like you need a partner, you need to fulfill a goal, you need to fulfill wow, my throat is messing up so much even just trying to say that. I'm gonna try that again. All right. And some of you guys may feel like you need a partner, or like you need to fulfill a goal in order to be happy, in order to be satisfied or be optimistic. And your soul is trying to, your soul or your spiritual team, something in a higher realm is trying to get you to grow in a way in which you can feel the optimism and the joy and the happiness without having to interact with anyone or anything else. They're trying to get you to percolate is the word that wants to come through, but they're trying to get you to percolate that energy within you, instead of seeking it in some sort of outside substance or person. Some of you guys may want to try dancing, just moving your body, exercise, something like that, because Percolator just came to my mind. It's a song from the 90s. If you haven't heard it, it's kind of a bop. I might need to listen to it after this, but it might just get you in a better vibration. So it's something coming through about moving the energy, and the way that you do that by getting yourself moving. That was a whole journey, but that's basically who this reading is for. So if this isn't resonating thus far and you don't know anyone who is for, feel free to watch, but just know that this is probably going to be purely entertainment for you. Otherwise, if this is resonating, then I'm going to go ahead and get into the charms. Usually I do 3, but we'll just see how many come out here, and what else needs to be discussed regarding El Negrito and this negative energy. So yeah, let's go ahead and shuffle and pull some charms. Hey guys, pulling the charms was really loud in editing, so I'm just doing a voiceover for this part, and then we'll just see what charms come out all together. I didn't want to hurt your ears like that. And I'm just gonna like shake it out. I just got Shake It Out by Florence and the Machine. Wow, okay, this one didn't land on anything, so I'm going to throw that one back. It landed in my lap. And then there is a Rose. I did just get Kiss from a Rose by Seal in my head. But this is also outside of the board, so considering I did get a song though, I feel like this is something that's like outside of range right now. Y'all might be very focused on love, but there's something, sorry, I can't keep this charm. It keeps like eluding my fingers. Yeah, it's like love keeps slipping through your fingers maybe. It's because love isn't the focus right now. Or if it is, it's about self-love, not love for another person. Not romantic love. Some of you guys might be definitely focused on romantic love, and that's just not what you're being called to cultivate at this time. It doesn't mean you're not going to have it, but that's just not where you're being asked to focus. I'm seeing 111 on the camera. So let's go ahead and get into these charms. I kind of feel like I should start here because this one is on El Negrito, and this is also kind of like the message that we started with. And I love that it's a star. And it's a black star. So yeah, it's almost like this is the star of the show. This is what we want to talk about. There are a lot of black charms here. There's another black star up there. And then this is a black... Is this a cat? Sorry, y'all. Yeah, and this is a black cat. It was reversed with the bell. And the only thing that's not black that I can tell is this cross that's on the frog. So... a lot of black energy. So you might be into, or you might need to do like more protective spell work at this time. Maybe banishing spell work, wear protective crystals. And I don't really know why. I think it's just maybe a bit of emotional fragility. Like any little thing could send you off. Any little thing could kind of, it's almost like any little thing could kind of sway you. So it's not even protective in the sense of like what's coming towards you is negative. It's more protective almost in like covering you. You guys may be in a place... if you look at your astrocartography chart, you could learn to read it on your own or you could pay for one. But y'all might be in a place where your moon is activated or where it's just a bit more introspective. Maybe you have a Pluto placement in that place. But it's something about where you are. And even if it's not in your chart, just energetically, it's making you more... introspective. It's making you really get into a hermit energy almost. El Negrito upright, I don't know why he's coming across as like loud and extroverted, and so reversed, you guys might definitely be more hermited than usual. You might be more introspective or introverted than usual. You might feel isolated because again you're in a new place. I'm seeing 3, 4, 5 on the camera. It may feel heavy, but this is very progressive for you. Yeah, that's really what's coming through is just some sort of heavier, hermity kind of energy. It's like you're meant to shine a light on your own darkness at this time. Instead of trying to... explore another person's darkness, instead of trying to get to know another person fully, you're being asked to know yourself fully right now. And again, there's emphasis on the right now. It's not that this is forever, but that's kind of what you're being guided to. There's another black star, and this one is like on El Negrito and El Corazon. So again, with the introspective love. The self-love. It's a very beautiful energy. There's something about how you can't fill others from an empty cup coming through, because I'm noticing this arrow going through the heart, and so there's almost this sense of like drain, like if you try to fill up like even trying to fill up your cup, you might immediately feel depleted because of some sort of leakage. I feel like this is where the pessimism is coming from. I feel like this is where some of the pessimism is coming from, and I do feel like this is tied to some sort of belief, some sort of conditioning, because Three of Swords is coming up here. Three of Swords in tarot talks about deep wounding, so deep to the point where it can like affect your behavior moving forward. I'm seeing 543 on the camera. So yeah, there's something about going back to something. And I feel like it's going to be, of course, it's going to be different for everybody. But you're definitely being asked to love on yourself and do some self-reflection in order to get to this wound and patch it up so that you're not... I just got leaking fuel. Yeah, so that you're not leaking fuel. So that you're not constantly over-giving to the wrong people or getting into more toxic relationships, whether these be friendships or romantic. Some of you guys may feel like you have to be of service in order to be loved, or you have to earn love, and there's something about that that needs to be looked at. Like, where did you get that belief from? Alright, so that is the general message. Normally these, I guess maybe that should be pile 1. So pile 1, I'm sorry, I didn't even choose or like explain that this was your pile, but this is your pile. Thank you so much for being here for this little extra tidbit. I definitely hope this helps and resonates. I wish you guys the best on your soul healing journey, and I will see y'all in the next video. See you later, pile 1. Pile 2, my black cat bells. La campana. And it's a black cat reversed. So again, same thing with you guys, kind of as pile 1, but a little different. Is you're meant to go... I just got Ring the Alarm by Beyonce. But you're meant to go within with this black cat. I'm also getting Queen of Wands. Very fiery energy coming through with you guys. You're meant to go within because something about you does feel like it's supposed to be a public figure, or at least a little bit more known. But it may trigger you for people to like notice things about you that you don't know about yourself, or for people to project things onto you that you don't resonate with. And so you're being asked to go within so that you can get to know yourself a little better. Because I feel like right now people might project things onto you and you don't know whether or not to accept those as true, or whether or not that person is just tripping. Like, you don't really know because you haven't taken the time to sit with self and like really get to know yourself and explore yourself, explore your art, explore your ideas. It's like you really haven't taken the time to do that. And so you're kind of being guided to go within at this time and be a bit more isolated. Not because you're always supposed to be there, but because there's something in you that needs to strengthen. Something with your solar plexus or just with your sense of self that needs to get stronger so that you're not constantly swayed by public opinion. And public opinion is coming through really strongly for you guys. So again, I do feel like you're meant to be some sort of public figure, or maybe even just like a popular community leader, because Eve's Bayou is coming to my brain, specifically the doctor in town. Like, he wasn't famous by any means of the word, but he was well known in his own community, in his own town. So even if this isn't like on billboards and shit, y'all are still meant to be really well known, at least in your own community. And there's just something about needing to get into that black cat energy so that people can't sway you. And even when people talk or try to project shit onto you, it doesn't affect you as much. Very interesting. I just saw 959 on the camera. You guys may resonate as artists, public speakers, motivational speakers. You may be a YouTuber or a content creator. This bell is coming with a lot of like communication energy. So something about you guys is already very vocal. And being vocal in and of itself is going to attract criticism. It's going to attract other people who are just as vocal but maybe disagree. It's going to attract a certain type of energy that is okay with being just as vocal as you are, but maybe in a different direction. And that's okay. That's kind of the game of life in a sense. But it's just where you are now, you do feel a bit more emotionally fragile. And there's something that just, something about calluses. It's like you need to get a few more calluses. And the way that you do that is just by coming in touch with your own shadows and being okay with those. So like Queen of Wands, I'm seeing 1123 on the camera. Queen of Wands is so powerful because, not because she's perfect, but because she knows herself fully. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And so when people come trying to criticize something, she really doesn't give a fuck. Like, you can't tell her something about herself that she doesn't already know. And so that's kind of where the strength comes from. Not in being perfect, not in filtering, but just in knowing yourself and being okay with yourself, even if no one else is. Very beautiful energy. Again, you guys, really nobody who's on this reading, not any of the piles, are meant to be in isolation forever. But I think this charm, it definitely wanted to talk about the reason for your isolation. And this isolation, if I feel like it's being stressed for me to tell you that your isolation is definitely temporary, but to use this time wisely. Use it getting to know yourself, use it to meditate, use it to explore your different interests and hobbies. Maybe you haven't had time to really pursue different things and different ideas. This is the time to do it. This is the time to journal. This is the time to read self-help books or listen to self-help books. Therapy. However you got to get into it to really know yourself, do that. Because this is almost like going to make you stronger for the next chapter, in which you are nowhere near isolated enough. You might be around people more often than you want sometimes. But having this knowledge of self will just allow you to navigate the next chapter where you're not isolated so much easier. So pile 2, I hope this helped you guys. I definitely hope it resonated. Let me know. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I will see you later, pile 2. Pile 3, or charm 3, you guys have the cross on top of the frog. For some reason, I just heard the frog croak. Like, ribbit. I'm being reminded of Princess and the Frog here. There's something unorthodox. There's something very unorthodox about you guys. Y'all might be religious. So y'all might be religious. Like, for example, let's just say you're Catholic. But you might do something a little outside of the religion as well. So, like, Santa Muerte isn't recognized by the Catholic Church, but a lot of Catholics do also work with Santa Muerte. That might be you. You might mix your religion with a little bit of voodoo or criollo or something like that, which, I mean, historically that was done as a form of protection. Y'all might just be keeping that going. There's definitely something unorthodox though. And even if you're not religious, it's just like, even the way that you're alternative, even the way that you're spiritual is different. I'm being guided a little bit to talk about expectations and presentation and the ego. And like, no matter what sector of society you fall into, there's always an expectation of how you look. If I say the word witch, there's an expectation or an image that comes to your mind of how a witch looks. Probably wearing all black, long gowns, sometimes with a pointy hat if you still kind of vibe with that traditional stereotype. I don't know why. I always imagine like a beat face baddie, but like goth with long dresses. You just get a certain image when you hear the word witch. You get a certain image when you hear the word goth. You get a certain image when you hear the word spiritual. And maybe that one goes a bit more all over the place because a lot of people claim to be spiritual these days from all sorts of walks of life. But there's something about, even as what you are, you're a little unorthodox. Me, for example, I'm a tarot reader. I consider myself to be highly spiritual. But I also do OnlyFans. As far as OnlyFans models go, I feel like I'm a little unconventional there because I'm not talking about, like, I still do spiritual stuff and get spiritual messages on my OnlyFans. I might be dressed a bit more provocatively while I do it, but it's still more of a spiritual thing for me. And so there's something about crossroads. Interesting that it is the cross. There's something about you guys meeting at an intersection of two things that don't normally jive, but because you're unorthodox in and of yourself, it's like you are able to blend these two things in a way that people haven't traditionally done before, and you're able to do it pretty well. You're able to do it very well. You're able to do it. It's like it's almost something that only you can do because you are the sort of unorthodox that can meet the vibration of this intersection. Everybody can't do that. A lot of people are very comfortable with their labels and trying to fit into those boxes. You guys, I'm getting High Priestess. Y'all almost hold the energy. High Priest, High Priestess, however. Y'all almost hold the energy of both of them and really blend them in a very beautiful way. And now I'm getting Temperance, which is all about alchemy. So it's like you're holding the known, you're holding the unknown, you're holding spirituality, and you're holding OnlyFans, and you're somehow blending those two in a way that is unique and personal to you. I'm seeing 1717 on the camera, so I've gotten this for literally everybody. But you guys definitely might be public figures, or you may be working to be a public figure, because 17 is the star in tarot. Outside of talking about celebrity, though, it also talks about having faith. So some of you guys may struggle with this. You really may struggle and hiccup in trying to fit into a box, but pile 3, you're not meant to. The beauty of you is that you can't fit into a box. Even when you try to fit into a box, you may notice that you don't exactly fit, and then you feel like you have to go somewhere else. You don't have to go somewhere else. Just bring more of yourself into these spaces. So if you want to be in the spiritual space, bring more of your other side, bring more of your other interests into that spiritual space. If you want to be on OnlyFans, bring more of your other interests onto OnlyFans. It's something, the way that you don't fit is exactly perfect for what you're supposed to do. So I hope that makes sense, but just know that you're always going to be a little unorthodox. You could go to the leftist of left of center and you will still be not quite the right fit there either. So stop trying to find that. Stop looking at the differences and instead focus on the similarities and just bring more of yourself into that space with you. I'm seeing 1939 as well as 1949 on the camera. I do have to go now, but I hope that message helps and resonates. Feel free to let me know if so or if not. And if nothing else, I definitely hope you at least were a little entertained with this reading. I definitely look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. But until then, I will see you later, Pal 3.